we did it. Somehow, some way, this Arsenal team keeps delivering, and we delivered again. Honestly, as it stands right now, I'm just lost for words. I was so convinced that we would either be losing or drawing. We weren't very good. It was a miserable performance, but Declan Rice, you beauty, absolutely amazing goal in a very crucial time. I'm just lost for words right now. I don't know how to process this win. It is such an important victory for us, but not just the fact that we've won a game and we stay on top of the table. It's the way that it had to happen. We weren't good, like, at all. I think that's very fair to say. And at one point I was thinking we're going to see a loss for this. I mean, we're down 3-2. We had no hope, but Havertz and mainly Declan Rice wins it for us in the death. Literally the last, very last kick of the game. Declan Rice wins it. I injure myself in the process of celebrating. I'm just lost for words. I'm so friggin' happy right now. Let's just get into this. So for the starting 11, I don't think it was very far off from the team I would have played. The differences being Raya starting in goal instead of Ramsdale. I did say in the preview that I still expected Raya to start, but I wanted Ramsdale to start. The other only difference in the starting 11 was Kivior starting at left back instead of me wanting Zinchenko, but I didn't really mind that at the time, being that we could rest Zinchenko for a little bit, but the rest of the team was essentially the exact same that I predicted. This was Arsenal's first game since Boxing Day in 1991, and as small as Kenilworth Road is, you could definitely see that Luton Town players and their fans were up for this one. And with this game, Bukayo Saka also became the youngest player in the Premier League era to make his second 100 appearance for Arsenal, so very good stuff from our star boy. Now onto the game. It was kind of an iffy start. We didn't really look good or settled in. We weren't in any sort of rhythm. I mean, I suppose you could say that for the whole game. Luton were extremely competitive and probably looking like the better team for the first 15 minutes. But after a dodgy back pass from, I don't actually remember who it was, from Luton Town, it went out for a deep throw in. Jesus was very on it to take a quick throw in. Saka does well to pick out Martinelli on the penalty spot essentially, and Martinelli puts it in the bottom corner to send us up 1-0 in 20 minutes. And I won't lie to you guys, I thought at that point, I'm like, you know what, Arsenal, we got this in the bag. It's going to be another easy victory for us. We can rest some players, but no. Boy, was I wrong. Luton did very well to press us out from the back, put a lot of pressure on our backline and a lot of pressure on our midfield. And I was preaching this in the preview. I kept saying it to nauseam in the preview that if we want to win this game, if we wanted to do well, we had to defend set pieces, and we didn't. We didn't do well enough. The very first set piece that we had to defend, the first corner that Luton Town had, Gabriel Osho scores for Luton Town. I don't know how Martinelli is marking such a big guy. The guy gets on top of Jesus and puts it in the back of the net. 1-1, and I thought, oh my days, we're in for a long one. And I mean, I was essentially right for that. I knew that set pieces would be important for us to defend, and their first set piece, they prove it. I mean, I don't know, I'm quite upset with the way that was conceded. I felt it was quite weak defending on our part. And after that, you kind of got the sense that Luton Town were far more hungry than this team. I mean, I won't lie to you, Arsenal kind of looked miserable out there for the full game. I think we looked like we just didn't want to be there. Luton Town were hungry. They were fighting for 50-50 balls. They were scrappy with it. But anyway, after a good Arsenal move, spearheaded by Jesus, Martinelli gets slipped in and hits it very well with his left foot, but it forced a top save out of Kaminsky, who did really well for Luton Town. Very good keeper. Low-key, he's a really underrated keeper, but I digress. Saka then does very well to take it into the box from the right wing position. He does well to cut in on his left foot and gets his shot off and forced another really good save from Kaminsky. After that though, we controlled the ball a bit more. Ben White finds some space with an overlapping run from a beautiful Declan Rice pass. Ben White then kind of just chips the ball into a good area, and Gabby Jesus puts it into the back of the net with a powerful header to send us up 2-1 on the stroke of halftime. And overall, it was a pretty underwhelming first half from us, and I think it's kind of due to Luton Town playing very well and us being, let's be honest, below average for that first half, despite being up 2-1 to start the second half. And to start the second half, before we even get grips to it, before we even get comfortable with it, Luton Town scored their second of the evening to equalize the game 2-2 in the 48th minute. Doughty takes the corner for Luton Town. I don't know what Raya is doing. Like, Raya comes out and doesn't get the ball, and a free header is converted, and we were back level with Luton Town, who just refused to back down. I honestly don't know what Raya is doing. If you are coming out for the ball in a corner, You have to get it. Just imagine if Ramsdale had made that error, all the headlines would have been on Ramsdale, but Raya makes the error and people don't seem to be as concerned. Horrible goalkeeping error from Raya, and that wasn't the last of it. But anyway, we then responded quite well, and there was a little look about a potential penalty for Arsenal on a Townsend challenge on Kivior. I do see a case for it being a penalty, I do, but I kind of just feel that that's a product of a 50-50 ball. Kivior gets the ball first, I know, but then Kivior kind of, if you look at it, kind of initiates the contact. So I kind of see people claiming it's a penalty. I see people saying it's not a penalty. To me, I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm leaning towards more the fact that it's probably not a penalty, and VAR checked it and didn't give a penalty. And after some more good midfielding work from Luton Town, they pass the ball around the area. Ross Barkley gets it and absolutely smashes it with his left foot to flip the game completely on its head and send Luton Town up 3-2. I was distraught. I just remember thinking we might even go down 4-5-2. We weren't looking good. We weren't looking assured of ourselves, confident on the ball. Luton Town were pressing us every chance they got. I really thought we were going to drop 3 points here. It was not a good look for us. We weren't playing well. We are so lucky that the result ended how it did. But anyway, I was just really upset at that point, as I'm sure many of you were as well. But right afterwards, Arsenal responded to get us back on level terms. Luckily, we win a Luton Town throw-in. Jesus does a superb job to hold the ball up and put the ball into Kai Havertz's path, and Kai puts it past the keeper for Arsenal to level the game 3-3, and Kai Havertz now scored his 3rd Premier League goal for Arsenal. And I mean, his form is on fire. Not just his goal today, but the way he played, how dominant he was in the air. He was so crucial. It's probably, I keep saying this and I'm so happy I do, but it's probably one of his better Arsenal games all round. He was just really good, won a lot of 50-50 balls in the air. He did very well defensively. Offensively, he was looking very good. Kai Havertz scored that, and it's not only that I was hyped that Kai Havertz gets another goal for Arsenal, but it equalized and it put us back on track to try do everything we can to go get those 3 points. We then brought on Zinchenko and Trossard for Kivior and Martinelli. Zinchenko being an obvious, more attacking move from Mikel, so obviously I didn't mind that. But for a lot of the second half, after the Havertz goal, it was a lot more of us trying to pin Luton Town back and us to try control the ball and control the game. And I mean, we did do so. Despite us not getting so many clear-cut chances, we did control the game and the ball. Saka then does so well after a corner. Saka wins at 50-50, then goes on and dribbles past 2 players, but Trossard puts the loose ball over the bar. Odegaard then puts in a beautiful ball. Saka gets clearly fouled in the box and it wasn't given as a penalty. And in the process of them showing the obvious penalty that should have been given, they show something even worse, something I didn't catch at first glance. It was a pull so clearly and obvious on Gabriel. It stopped Gabriel from getting a header in a corner. I don't know how that wasn't given as a penalty. Apparently VAR looked at both of those incidents and didn't give either one of them. I understand more the Saka foul not being given, being that it's kind of a 50-50, I suppose you could say, even though I do believe that's a pure nailed-on penalty. But the Gabriel one for me is so clear-cut. You've pulled his shirt so obviously. He hasn't gone down easily. You've pulled him down so obviously with so much power, and had you not done that, Gabriel would have gotten a free header. How VAR could look at both of those, particularly the Gabriel one, and not give it a penalty? I mean, I don't know. I just, it's every game, it's every weekend, every match day. I am just so tired of VAR and the referees taking up the headlines. If we had drawn 3-3, I guarantee you the headlines would have been Raya and one of those fouls committed in the area. Honestly, how that Gabriel one wasn't given as a penalty, I have no idea. But anyway, Havertz then had a really good header chance that was tipped over by Kaminsky, and right after that, Trossard lashed his shot just wide, and you kind of started to get the feeling that, you know, we were desperate at this point and it probably wasn't going to work out for us. As much as I believe in this team and we keep scoring beyond the 90th minute, I think it's fair to say that at least 80% of you guys listening right now also thought it's probably going to end up as a 3-3 draw. It just wasn't looking good for us. But all until the very last kick of the game, Odegaard whips in a ball and a huge moment, the sort of stuff that champions are made of. Declan Rice heads the ball into the net to send us up 4-3 to get a 4-3 win over Luton Town. I am still so gassed. I literally injured myself celebrating. I celebrated so hard. I lost my flipping head. But that is the stuff champions are made of. When we put in a miserable performance, probably didn't deserve 3 points from it, we still go out and find a way, as we always have done this season. Despite Raya's mistakes, we still found a way to get all 3 points. Declan, you beauty. I love you. You're one of my favorite Arsenal players since the moment we signed you, and this is exactly why. It's your second crucial last-minute goal, obviously after the United one, and this feels just as good as beating Man United does. I know it sounds weird to say beating Luton Town on a Tuesday evening feels as good as beating Man United, but it's how we performed, how we played. We didn't deserve 3 points, but we still found a way, and the way it had to happen, literally the last second of the game, Declan Rice gets a header. I am gassed. But yeah guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the game? What did you guys make of our last minute winner from Declan Rice? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.